Well, British counter-terrorism police are investigating what's being called a major incident in the English countryside. A man and a woman are in a critical condition after suspected exposure to an unknown substance. It happened in Amesbury, England. That's just 13 kilometres from Salisbury, where a former Russian spy and his daughter were found poisoned exactly 4 months ago. We have our Erin McLaughlin at the scene in Amesbury, and Paton Walsh is at Scotland Yard in London. Erin, I want to go first to you. This obviously happened very close to the scene of this toxic nerve agent poisoning. Just take us through what you know.
But they're going to want this. They're going to want this night off.
Yeah, that's right, Lynda. And at this point, it's unclear if there is any connection between what happened in Salisbury and what happened here in Amesbury on Saturday night. What we do know is that authorities responded to this apartment block in the evening and found a couple, man and woman in their 40s, to be unconscious. Now, initially, authorities thought that this was a drug overdose. They suspected cocaine or heroin. Now, they're entirely not sure, but what they have done is declared in this area a major incident. They've cordoned off the apartment building, although we're seeing sort of a minimal police presence here. They've also cordoned off a local pharmacy as well as a Baptist church where it's thought that the couple had attended a fun fair earlier on this Saturday. And what has raised, though, alarm here, has locals extremely concerned, is the proximity, as you say, to Salisbury. It was some 4 months ago that a ex-Russian double agent and his daughter were poisoned by a weapon of mass destruction, a military-grade nerve agent. And the British government has blamed Russia. Russia denies that. But again, unclear if there's any connection. We heard this morning from the police chief for this area say that at this point they have not been able to draw so far any links between the two.
All right, I want to go to Nick at Scotland Yard. Britain's biological and chemical weapons facility is investigating this. How soon could we know what this substance is?
Well, the issue here is really the amount of time that's already elapsed between Saturday night and now. Now, if I recall correctly, during the Skripal case, it was about 3 days or so since the poisoning to when police behind me in the counter-terrorism division said they believed a nerve agent may possibly have been involved. A longer period of time has elapsed, and as you can see, obviously, the nation, frankly, is on high alert for an instance like this happening, particularly in that geographical location. Scotland Yard's counter-terrorism police have said that they are assisting in that investigation. But frankly, the phrase they also use is as you would expect, given the geography of what's happened, given how the nation is deeply concerned, and given how this substance, which is incapacitated and left in a critical condition, these two people in their 40s, is still, quote, unknown. As Erin said, it was thought to perhaps be some kind of opiate or maybe crack cocaine, contaminated batch bought at street level. That may not be the case. It may be something more exotic. I should hand a note of caution here, though, really. You know, we're not hearing the alarm bells ringing from the highest levels of the British government. Theresa May, the British Prime Minister, through her spokesman, said this is being treated, quote, with the utmost seriousness. Well, of course, that is exactly what you would expect them to say after the impact on British-Russian relations, the sanctions, the diplomatic expulsions, the European-wide condemnation of Moscow that occurred after the Skripal poisoning. The facts really are still not established here, and of course there's always the possibility of a more innocent explanation, perhaps involving a growing epidemic of drug use in parts of rural Britain. There are many other possible things that could be at stake here, but I think what we're hearing is the British government being quite clear to come forwards and say they're putting all the textbook checks in they can to be sure all the correct work is done. But I have to say a longer period of time has elapsed now since the Skripal affair was said to be done by a nerve agent, and at this point we're still hearing people talking about the utmost seriousness of the incident, but no specifics as yet.
Yeah, certainly major concerns, a lot of unanswered questions. I just want to go back to Erin. Given counter-terrorism police are in the area, many buildings have been locked down, how are locals there reacting to this?
You know, really, locals I've been talking to say they have sort of mixed feelings about all of this. On the one hand, they're listening to the public health advice given out by authorities that there's nothing to be alarmed about, that this poses no sort of risk to the greater public. On the other hand, they have seen what unfolded 4 months ago in Salisbury, in which the military actually had to go in to clear out cars, and patrons of local pubs had to wash their clothes. The patrons of the pub that the Skripals had eaten at. So clearly there is a level of concern here, and clearly what unfolded here Saturday night is alarming. Some locals telling me that in the evening they saw a whole team complete with hazmat suits and police show up to clear the place out, and so they are concerned, and now more than anything, I was speaking to one local resident who tells me she just wants answers. She wants to know what's going on, and she wants to know what happened to this couple on Saturday.
We will be staying on this story, trying to get those answers. Erin, McLaughlin, Paton, Walsh, great to have you both with us on this case. Thanks so much.